Over the years, watching highly successful people up close, you begin to notice certain patterns. Not just in how they work or decide or execute, but in how they interpret reality itself. Because two people can experience the same exact circumstances, the same pressure, the same uncertainties, the same events, and yet live in completely different psychological worlds, what separates them rarely is capability, but I think it's perspective. Perspective may be one of the most underestimated performance variables in existence. It quietly shapes how we interpret setbacks, how we experience stress, how we judge risk, how long we remain patient, and how quickly recover. Long before skills become the constraint, perspective becomes the limiter. Something else becomes obvious when you observe people who sustain success over very long periods of time. They're not immune to difficulty. They are simply less disturbed by it. Delay is rarely seen as a disaster. Resistance is rarely seen as rejection. Uncertainty is rarely seen as a threat. Events do not disappear, but their meaning changes. I've become increasingly aware of this in my own life. Much of performance and even much of peace of mind seems to come from an intentional shaping of an internal dialogue. A conscious effort to choose the lens, to resist a catastrophic interpretation, to avoid attaching performance to temporary moments, to see movement when others see blockage. What's slightly uncomfortable is realizing how much of what we experience as stress is not produced by reality itself, but by the frame through which we view it. Perspective does not change the circumstances, it changes the weight they carry. Now, perspective is not blind optimism. It's not a forced positivity. It is proportion. It is the discipline of holding events at their true scale. Not everything is a crisis, not every obstacle is fatal, not every delay is failure. Of course, there is quite a trade-off here. A mind trained toward constant forward motion, constant reframing, constant optimism does not always pause easy. There's always the risk of forgetting to stop. And yet perspective itself offers a resolution to that tension. Because perhaps to the most useful lens of all, it's remembering that present moment is not merely something to navigate, but it's something to experience itself. Look, in the end, performance is not only shaped by what we do, it is shaped continuously by how we see. Because while circumstances are shared, perspective is absolutely chosen.